Welcome to our city. A few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. Today is Monday, the holiday that has celebrated Martin Luther King's birthday. City Hall was closed today in observance of that holiday, and a ceremony took place in front of City Hall at the Martin Luther King Jr. Monument. And on Saturday, January 26th, which is going to be part of the first segment of this show, at 5 o'clock, I'm going to attend the Elizabeth Coalition to House the Homeless. It's their 19th annual basketball classic tournament, and this annual event will take place at Elizabeth High School in the Dunn Sports Arena. It's scheduled to begin at 5 o'clock. The first game is the Patrick School versus Don Bosco Prep. The second game at 6:45 is going to be Elizabeth High School versus Passaic Tech. And the 8:15 game, which is the final game for the evening, is my alma mater, St. Mary's High School, versus Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, which was a great game last year. So we encourage you to come out, support this event, as well as help financially, because the Coalition to Shelter the Homeless is the premier organization here that really works to keep people off the streets and give them some food and some shelter. On Sunday, January 27th, the commemoration of the 159th birthday of Jose Marti at the Association of Pro Cuba, located at 9-13 Morell Street. If you need more information concerning these events or any other events, please call our Public Information Office at 820-4124. Now, I mentioned the basketball show, and I'm pleased to have with me a representative from the Coalition to House the Homeless. She's the executive director, Miss Linda Flores-Tober. Linda, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Glad
you
to be
can
here.
make it. And also, I don't know your title anymore, but he's the former mayor of Roselle. He's the former principal at St. Patrick's, and now he's something emeritus at the Patrick School located on Mars Avenue that I included in my State of the City speech, Mr. Joe Picaro. Joe, welcome to the show.
Always great to be with you, Mayor.
So, Linda, why don't we start with you and tell the viewers a bit about yourself and your dedication to the homeless population, first of all.
Well, I've been at the Coalition, as you know, for 22 years. And, our efforts are all about making sure that people are decently housed and those who are homeless. We work very hard to get them off the streets and get them properly sheltered and eventually permanently housed. That's always the ultimate goal.
Now, you've done some transitional housing, right?
We have 3 transitional housing for working homeless families because, as you know, those who are not on public assistance are not eligible to get into most of the shelters. And so we work hard to get the working homeless families, who we see in incredibly more numbers, a opportunity to be in long-term sheltering through transitional housing.
And how long has the Coalition to Shelter the Homeless been around?
Oh, we've been here for 32 years.
All under Sister Jacinta?
Sister Jacinta has been on our board for 32 years, yeah.
She helped start it, basically.
She was one of our founders, yes.
Okay. And this event, on the basketball event that's going to occur on Saturday, it's a fundraiser for the Coalition to Shelter the Homeless, and you got a lot of teams playing. Whose idea? How did this start?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. How many years? Tell me about this.
This is our 19th year. It started with St. Patrick's, former priest there, Bill Crum, had the idea of why couldn't we have? He loved sports, and he said, why couldn't we have a classic? We have 3 high schools in Elizabeth, and let's think of a way of getting the whole community together to do an effort. And it started real small. In fact, our first game was in Baton, if you remember. That was a long time ago. We barely had 800 people come. And now we fill the stands. So we're very excited.
And it's at the Dunn Sports Center.
It's at the Dunn Sports Center, yeah. We have a much bigger venue. And it's really a community effort. I think that's, to me, what's important. Homelessness and housing is a community issue. And the whole community gets together. The city helps us. The schools help us. And even the businesses help us. I mean, I don't know if you know, but most of the pizzerias in Elizabeth donate pizza that we sell that day. So
you go through a lot of pizza, I know, because when I'm there, you're constantly moving out the pizza.
And ShopRite donates the hot dogs and all of the things that go with the hot dogs. We get donated soda and water. So it really is many hands make work light. Many hands come together to make it possible.
Does anybody have the nerve to complain about the pizza and say this one's better than that one?
No. Everybody rates okay. Everybody rates okay.
Joe, what's your title now over at the Patrick School?
My new title is headmaster.
Oh, that reminds me of Annie or something, doesn't it?
Well, some people think I'm a headache or a head case, but the new title is above the principal, so I'm the overall boss. We have a new young principal who's doing a great job.
He's going to join us for the second part of the show.
Yes, and he's doing a wonderful job for us. The game that started this feature for the homeless, Bill Crum, Kevin Boyle, and a guy named Bob Karn came to me and said, we want to have our home basketball game, our most lucrative game, to donate the money to the coalition. And so that's how it began. It began in Baton with us playing McCorston High School from Trenton. And they were one of the top teams in the state at the time. And it was a big game for us, even though there's only 800 people, but Baton only held 800 people.
Right,
Yeah,
I
we were-
didn't
we
hold
were-
much
we
more
were-
than that.
And then what happened was the ability of the coalition people to organize and to get Elizabeth High School and to come up with a book for advertising and getting all the donations of pizzas, etc. They took it from there. We just supplied from then on, usually the main event. So we were playing Seton Hall Prep, or we were playing Rice High School, or we were playing whoever, and we were usually the featured game. We're playing the first game this time around because we play Sunday afternoon in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
So we have to play the early game. So Don Bosco Prep is one of the top teams in the state. So we're hoping that the event will be the same as usual with the good support of people coming to the game. So those of you who would like to go to that game, make sure you're there on time to see the Patrick School in action.
Yeah, well, you know, we when I talked with Linda, she suggested that we get some more publicity for the show. So I said, hey, how about the TV venue? Maybe we can put some people on here. It seems like a city-wide effort, but there's more involved than just a city-wide effort, right, Linda? Than this, you go outside the city.
Oh,
with
we
the
do.
business
Well,
community.
PSNG is also a main sponsor, and so we go to the towns where the schools are at, the opposing schools, and see if we can find folks there who are interested in advertising in the program. And we are a county agency, so we serve. I mean, not a county sponsored agency, but we do serve the whole county. So we really look to get as many
And
people
Linda,
involved as possible.
Joe, your role in this event, do you have a formal role in this event, or you just show up and cheer for the Patrick School?
At this point, that's what I do. I'm a cheerleader more than anything else. I was just remembering, though, a couple of years ago, the place was overcrowded. It was sold out because we played St. Benedict's Prep.
Oh yeah, that was quite the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was great for the coalition. You know, the bottom line is make a lot of money for people that need it. And so
What do you do with the money then? Everybody always wants to know when
Oh, we do the
nonprofits.
money. Well, some of
not
that
that you don't
goes-
have the needs, but what do you do with the money? You have it.
Specifically,
Yeah.
it helps to fund our after-school program for homeless youth, Bernice's Place, as well as the summer day camp that we run for homeless youth and during the summer. Then we also use it for our transitional housing program, because running 3 houses is expensive, and we really want the folks there to succeed. And in order to succeed, they have to save money. So we really try to support them in that effort.
And Linda,
they do
the
succeed.
program that you just mentioned, Bernice's house, I believe you said.
Place, yeah.
Bernice's place. Where is that? You can tell our
We do
viewers.
it right on the premises of 118 Division Street. We have a church that's been, the pews are removed, and it's really a schoolhouse. And so the kids come. We have Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. They have drama club. They do all kinds of really enriching things that, the kids in a situation when they're moving or they're living doubled up don't get a chance to be involved in. So
Now, one thing with the games, you have an awful lot of young people around there selling, I don't know, chances, playbooks.
T-shirt.
and I
Where
know,
are those kids?
Isn't that great?
Are those kids friends? I mean, your daughter used to bring in a lot of her friends,
Oh,
right?
she brings her friends in from
Yeah,
Hudson
which
Catholic.
is pretty cool. Yeah.
And so we have Kane University brings in students. New Jersey City University comes in and brings some students. Some of the banks come in and help run the stands. A lot of young folks come in, and I think that's like the key thing. The Key Club, which is part of Elizabeth High School, they're majorly involved in that, and they do a lot of the selling. So, yes, there are many people involved, and that's the secret that people don't realize. Our students that we have a program where we sponsor students to do their field work for their master's programs, and they come in and bring in friends as well. So we really have a lot of folks coming in from all over, some from out of state as well as in state.
Now, Joe, I mentioned the matchups in this basketball game on who's playing who in the opening remarks. You've only lost one game as of this airing of the show, and that was opening night. I was there to Roselle Catholic.
We lost our opening game to Roselle Catholic.
Haven't lost since.
We have 10 wins in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been pretty dominant also. So I think the first game, being a new school, I think my boys were nervous.
You think so?
So they didn't play the way I would expect St. Patrick players to play. And since then, it's been a different team.
Well, aren't they
And,
forging their own identity as the Patrick School? And I guess when the principal comes on for the second half of the show, we can ask them questions like that.
Sure. But I think that, they talk about no loss is a good loss. You don't want to lose any games. But once you lose that game, and what has happened is, I think it was an impetus for us to play the way we're supposed to be able to play. So the coach is doing a great job.
I think it was a wake-up call.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, you didn't play Kevin Boyle's team when he came up from the
He's afraid of us.
Florida. Yeah, he came up to play 2 games at at Roselle Catholic. And he crushed the 2 opponents.
Yes, he did. He's got a great team.
He does.
And they're ranked either 1 or 2 in the country. ESPN has them ranked number 1 in the country. So that's quite a team he has. And they're undefeated. And we would have whipped them.
All right. So just before we go, Linda, how much are the tickets to the game?
Tickets are $12 for adults, $8 for students. And you can get them at the Coalition, you can get them at BB Miller. Your best bet is really to call the Coalition. We'll make sure you get tickets. Or you can buy them the night of the game.
And the night of the game is same price?
Same price.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Good.
don't charge extra.
Well, Joe, I know you're staying for the second half where we're going to bring in your principal to talk about the Patrick School and
Yes.
not only some of the bumps, but a lot of the successes you've had over there at school.
We're doing well.
Appreciate you staying here. And Linda, I thank you for coming on
My
for
pleasure.
the first segment. I look forward to seeing you next Saturday for the
You'll see us.
the game.
Okay.
Thank you.
And thanks for everything you do, Linda.
Oh, thank you. It's our pleasure.
For Linda Flores-Tober and Joe Picaro, please stay with us after these messages, where we'll be back talking about the Patrick School in the city of Elizabeth.
When I grow up, I want to be a psychologist or a therapist.
I want to be a pediatrician.
I was hoping to become a chef someday.
I want to own a big house with a convertible and the jacuzzi and the pool, all the good stuff. Role models, they don't tell you what to do, but they help you to go where you're going. I want to study law. I don't want to become a lawyer. I want to become a CIA agent.
Young people, I think, do need a mentor because, we don't know everything. And, all the people, they've experienced stuff that we haven't.
I would like to be a baseball player. As long as there's somebody behind you, pushing you and supporting you, then you feel that you always have the strength to keep going.
Well, I would like to become like a doctor. That's my first choice.
Sometimes you feel down and you feel like no one really understands and no one knows where you're coming from. And it's great to see someone who's been where you are now and making it.
So get involved and do your part. Invest in the future. Mentor a child.
I worry about my boyfriend. One minute he's supportive, the next minute everything is my fault. After he's had too many beers, he gets really angry and I become the target. My best friend, a social worker, told me to try Al-Anon family groups. It was a great relief to hear a new perspective for my problems. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon family group meeting from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
What if you could ignite your child's love of learning with one after-school program? What if that one program was easy and fun? Destination Imagination is the one. Destination Imagination has taught teamwork, creativity, and problem-solving for more than 25 years. A major university study showed our students are ahead of others in creativity and critical thinking. Learn more at startateam.org and make Destination Imagination the one for you.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trap beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
Savings Man here with a story for you about two young spenders named Tommy and Sue. Their parents let them buy whatever they chose, like video games and designer clothes. As they grew older, they spent all their pay on fancy cars, houses, 2 lattes a day. They lived in the moment, never saving a dime. When they tried to retire, they'd run out of time. Working forever is Tom and Sue's fate, so choose to save now before it's too late. Visit our website to find out more, cause a happy ending's worth saving for.
Welcome back to our city, where the second half of the show I'm joined by Joe Picaro, who's the headmaster at the Patrick School, and Mr. Lee Turkowski, who is in his first year as principal at the Patrick School. It was his job to get this school up and running in time for September, which he did a great job doing. Lee, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Now, tell us a little bit about your professional background and how did you wind up here? You've been in education for a while, correct?
I have, yes. I've been a teacher for 7 years. I was up in Patterson for the past 7 years at a charter school, and what I did was I taught psychology, special education, and then I started a leadership and character development program up there. I did really well. I was nationally recognized for what I did with that work, and decided that if I really wanted to truly make a difference, I personally felt, getting into administration would really be that. I did so much in my classroom, but I felt if I really wanted to make a true difference, trying to attack a whole school.
Well, you're not an Elizabeth kid, so why Elizabeth? How did you find it? Was Joe Picaro up there crawling through the bushes and back on where you live? What was he doing?
No, actually, a former colleague of mine had let me know about an opportunity of possibly starting up a school with an amazing tradition, but fell on hard times in a situation where they were going to try to stay open as a non-denominational school, and it was the perfect fit. The size of the school, the kids, and the timing was amazing, and it just worked out perfectly.
And Joe, how did you go about finding Lee? Was there a search? Was there a people getting together? Was there a review committee? What was your process?
I wasn't too heavily involved in any of the hiring for any of the staff in the new school, and we had someone who was coming in as the principal who had tremendous credentials in a lot of areas, including a degree in nursing. And after taking the job, she decided that she would go into a hospital, and I don't know if it was in an administrative job or in a nursing.
So she was the original principal?
Yes. So then we had a scramble to find a replacement, and luckily we were told about Lee, and so I stayed out of the process of the hiring. I deliberately did that. And so Chris Chavanis and Steve Mango and a few other people were involved in the process of making the selection. I will tell you this, they made a fine choice. Lee has only been in administration for 4 months, and I see the leadership ability. And he doesn't hide, he doesn't stay in the background. He's right out front doing all the decision making and making pretty good decisions.
And Joe, the process, you were there for a long time. You were the principal. I mean, you saw your family grow as the principal. So tell us about your role and your emotions when you stepped down as a principal. How did it be difficult?
What happened, Mayor, was I had some medical difficulties last fall, and so I was going to wind up taking my retirement. But due to the currents that kept me on was the closing of the school. And because of that, the parents, students, faculty members said that I needed to make the transition. So I wound up coming on and staying at least another year. And so while I'm doing this now, I'm starting to say, well, I guess I'm going to be in for the long haul again. So it looks like I'll be around. I'll be doing more and more.
So Lee, is he a help? Is his knowledge of all these years a help? Or
Absolutely. The one great thing about the school is, among the administration, we have over 100 years. Obviously not one person. You're close, but we have a lot of people.
He was around when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed.
Exactly. So we have a lot of people with tons of experience in so many different facets, not only with education but the business field. So we really have an amazing. And Mr. Picaro has been amazing with helping me. You know, any question I have, he's always there to help me with it and help mold me into, you know, where I need to go. I know it's my first year, but everyone's learning. You know, I think I'm doing a good job, and a lot of that's in part because of Mr. Picaro as well as Mr. Chavanis. And Mr.
Now, Lee,
Becker.
tell me, when you arrived, were you worried about the transition? Were you worried about accreditation, certifications? I mean, you know, we took a Catholic school in the city of Elizabeth, and we said, okay, now you're going to operate like this.
Yeah.
But it doesn't just happen overnight with the accreditation process.
No, it doesn't. But I think what people need to know is that the Patrick School is St. Patrick's. It's just technically a different name. We have all the exact same accreditations, NCAA, Middle States. We're still accredited by Middle States. We are also ACT, SAT as well. So we have all the same accreditations and everything as our former school did.
And do you have plans for expansion and growth? Can you fit more kids in that school? Or?
Yes, we've talked about that. We were really lucky. A lot of kids stuck with us. You know, they
got 150, right?
Yeah, we're pushing it. We got a good amount, and we talked about, you know, pushing upwards of 200. But we don't want to go too large, because I think one of the great things of the history of the former school and our school now is we want to keep the teacher student ratio, to like about a 15-to-1, and have that family orientation. You know, that feeling. That's important.
Joe, expansion and paying tuition was always an issue with St. Patrick's. And do you see expansion as a way to help the finances of the school? And where do you stop it?
We're going to need to increase enrollment a little bit. We don't really need too much to make ends meet. And we do have a lot of alumni, as you know, who are very generous to us. And so we do get a lot of donations coming in. So we would like to see a bit of an increase, but I don't think we want to reach 200. You know, we'd probably be satisfied with 170, somewhere around there. And going from where we're at to that figure would assure that we would have that good financial base and a little bit to help us do more of the growth that we want to, or changing the facilities and making them better and improving them.
Lee, how do people find out about the Patrick School, the new location, Morris Avenue, on the border of Union? How do they find out about it?
Well, the easiest way to find out about us, you know, one click away, you know, www.thepatrickschool.org is the quickest way to find out. But you know, we're having a lot. The basketball team has really given us, you know, a lot of, you know, publicity and stuff like that. So that helps. But I think the number one way is this upcoming February 1st from Friday, February 1st, is from 7 to 9 p.m. We're having an open house, and this is anyone is free to come just to learn about, whether it's for a friend, a family member, whatever, a son, daughter. We want to just, you know, put ourselves out there. There will be, you know, refreshments and stuff like that. We really just
how many guys, how many gals? What's the demographics of St. Patrick's? Does it represent the city of Elizabeth?
It's actually, technically, it really does. It really represents our, you know, who we're catering to, and that's Elizabeth and the surrounding areas. And it's about 60-40, you know, males, females, is what our numbers are roughly.
And extracurricular activities. I mean, everybody talks about the Patrick School and basketball.
Sure, but
sometimes we get hung up in that.
No, it's true.
What else do we offer?
We have a lot. Actually, our volleyball team did extremely well.
Didn't they win it all this year? We
won our division of the conference.
They were undefeated at one point, right?
Yes, and we went on 25-4.
Yeah.
So
we had a
they
good
did
year.
phenomenal. The girls were amazing. Coach Judas did a great job with them. We also have sport-wise, you know, we're working on track field, baseball, girls basketball as well, cheerleading, and then for extracurricular activities, we actually offer a lot, and we're looking to expand on that. We have an etiquette club, a chess club, student government. We're working on finalizing our first year of getting a nice, solid student government, climate committee, a lot of different things like that. We have the arts,
drama, right?
drama, dance, as well as theater program. So a lot of these things.
I mean, being 2 months into the school year, how do you measure the progress? Are you satisfied, not satisfied? Is it a little early to even ask that question?
No, I mean, you know, technically, you know, we got into, you know, about 4 months we've been in there, and I don't think we could ask for anything more. I think we're doing really, really well with where we're at. You know,
I'm very satisfied with how we're doing academically. We offer more subjects now than we did, And the students are being tested. We have a couple of testing programs, and they're performing pretty well. And we have a lot of students above grade level. It's always been our tradition to take undereducated students that come in below grade level and get them on to college. And 90% or better go on to college and are very successful, as you know. And you got a lot of them in your administration, right? a lot of them working for you. So which is great. And so we see the progress with their standardized tests, and they're really picking it up very well.
We got a couple of seconds left. So Lee, what do you like to see next week at the open house? What kind of parents what kind of questions? What would you like to see?
We really want just people to come out and give us a shot. The tradition that was started by St. Pat's is, is amazing. And we stand by our saying. We have education that makes a difference, and anybody that wants that for their child.
And when is the open house?
It is Friday, February 1st from 7 to 9 p.m.
So if anybody's looking to go to the Patrick School, or you have young seniors or juniors and you want to look at the Patrick School, come February 1st from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Patrick School located on Morris Avenue right next door to the Tropicana Diner. I want to thank Mr. Joe Picaro, the headmaster, for coming on the show, and I want to thank Mr. Lee Turkowski, the principal, as well as Linda Flores-Tober, who was here for the first half. May you all have a good night. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.